Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with Eddie Deacon, a former Marine captain, applying for a job at an outsourcing company. The interviewer determines he's unfit for available positions, due to his emotional vulnerability since leaving the Marines. Visibly disheartened, Eddie shares with the interviewer that he has been out of work for a year, and needs to sustain his family. The interviewer calls him back, mentioning a job opening for a mall security guard. The job is modest pay and requires long hours, but Eddie can start immediately. Eager for any opportunity, he instantly accepts the offer. As these events unfold, a convoy of U.S. Marshals is observed escorting an 11-year-old girl, Jamie. She is scheduled to provide crucial testimony the next day, against a notorious criminal organization known as 666. While en route, the convoy's members become aware they are being tailed. Not long after this realization, they find themselves ambushed by a highly trained and heavily armed group of mercenaries, who launch a calculated attack on their convoy. During the chaos, one of the U.S. Marshals urgently instructs Jamie to flee into the surrounding woods and find assistance. Tragically, even though the entire team of Marshals lose their lives, Jamie manages to elude capture. When the mercenaries become aware of her successful escape, they quickly clean the scene, erasing all evidence of their involvement. These mercenaries are not just armed with heavy-duty weapons, they also possess cutting-edge technology that aids them in executing their illicit activities with precision. Returning to Eddie, who is visibly troubled, calls his wife to inform of his new job as a security guard. He greets his daughter, who he has not seen for a long time, and wishes her the best. When he arrives at the mall, he is welcomed by the mall's head security guard, Vance. Vance introduces him to the other three guards, Ruby, Mason, and Johnny, who are all friendly. Experiencing intermittent issues with the mall's security system, Vance initially dismisses the glitches due to adverse weather conditions. To better acquaint Eddie with the environment, Vance provides him with a security uniform, and gives him a comprehensive tour of the mall's layout. During the tour, Eddie expresses his curiosity about the need for 5 security guards, when the mall is not operational. Vance explains that the mall had recently been the location of a deadly robbery, and the broader city is struggling with a wave of gang-related criminal activities, necessitating the heightened security measures. Vance quietly has a crush on Ruby, a co-worker who likes to drink. Eddie starts his shift, and while patrolling, he sees Jamie banging on the mall doors, begging to be let in. Acting impulsively, Eddie opens the door, and a frantic Jamie rushes in, only to faint shortly after. Vance tries to call the police, but oddly, they can't get any cell signal, and the landline is not working. Soon, a man named Charlie shows up at the mall. He claims to be Jamie's father, and is looking for her. Without hesitation, Vance tells another security guard to bring Jamie downstairs. Eddie, however, is skeptical of Charlie. Jamie looks scared, as if she's trying to get away from a harmful father. Eddie quizzes Charlie about details concerning her. Shockingly, he answers every question flawlessly. But when they hand her over to him, she wakes up, screams in horror, and bolts away. Seeing her reaction, Eddie tells Vance not to let Charlie in. What they need to know is that Charlie isn't her father at all. He's actually the leader of mercenaries, who had attacked a U.S. Marshal convoy to capture Jamie. He disguised himself as her dad to get close. Charlie then tries to bribe Vance with cash to get Jamie, and Vance seems tempted. But Eddie steps in, hitting Charlie to stop him. Unfazed, Charlie threatens Eddie and leaves to prepare for an attack. He outlines his strategy to his mercenaries: surround the mall, set up a perimeter, and turn off the guards' vehicles. Meanwhile, Eddie tries to find Jamie, who is hiding somewhere in the mall. Eventually, she comes out and asks him to promise to protect her. He agrees. After gathering everyone together, Mason takes a moment to brief Eddie and the other security guards on the intricate details of Jamie's past. Her father had been a financial operative for a drug cartel, but ultimately chose to betray them, divulging their illicit activities to the authorities. This courageous act led to his untimely death. Jamie, who had secretly witnessed the entire horrifying event, is now a protected witness, scheduled to testify against the criminal organization. To ensure her safety within the confines of the mall, Eddie stows her away in a sequestered storage room. He maintains a line of communication with her through a walkie-talkie, instructing her to keep the door securely locked, and to abstain from opening it for anyone. Vance and the other guards are frightened, aware that Charlie's gang had taken down highly trained government agents. However, Eddie, an ex-Marine, stands fearless, strategizing and instilling calm in the team. Together, they whip up homemade bombs and set traps to defend the mall. Charlie launches his attack, deploying a sniper through the roof, while others try to break in through the back door. Eddie successfully takes down several mercenaries with Vance and the others. Despite these efforts, the sniper infiltrates the mall and sets his sights on Vance. Just in the nick of time, Ruby shows up to save him. Charlie orders his forces to withdraw, instructing them to clean up and prepare for the next onslaught. Eddie and the security team recalibrate their defense, positioning Vance, Ruby, and Mason at each entry and exit. Johnny gets the job of signaling any passing police patrols with a flashlight. Shortly, Jamie comes out of hiding and offers to help. In the meantime, Charlie and his squad manage to breach the mall's security with the help of their skilled hacker. Jamie sends an RC car toward Charlie, hoping to divert him and his gang, revealing a location that Eddie has set up for an ambush. Charlie takes the bait and directs his men toward the ambush site, promising a monetary reward for killing Jamie, and threatening harm to their families should they fail. As they arrive, one of the soldiers falls victim to one of Eddie's clever traps. Ruby doesn't hold back and lets arrows fly, hitting one of the mercenaries. However, the trained combatants strike back, severely wounding Ruby. Mason successfully takes down 2 attackers using Eddie's ingenious traps and homemade weapons, then gathers their rifles for further use. On the walkie-talkie, Eddie checks in with his team, relieved to find out everyone is still alive. He tells Mason to hold his position, while he goes to collect the rifle. However, mercenaries pinpoint Eddie's location, and force him to run for his life. Just then, a police patrol car pulls up to the mall's entrance. Johnny tries to signal the police, but his flashlight malfunctions. This forces him to abandon his hiding spot. Tragically, a sniper on the roof spots Johnny, and kills him before he can reach the patrol car. Realizing the urgency, Eddie sends out a call for his co-workers to convene at the toy store for a strategic regrouping. Under the watchful eyes of Charlie, who is monitoring the situation through CCTV, Eddie manages to neutralize one of the mercenaries, and clear the area of other threats. Vance and Ruby emerge from their hiding spots, but are instantly caught in an ambush. Ruby heroically urges Vance to make a run for it, while she provides covering fire. Just when the mercenaries pinpoint Mason's location and are about to execute him, Eddie arrives in the nick of time, eliminating the immediate threat. Eddie, Mason, Vance, and Ruby successfully regroup at the toy store, and take cover. Infuriated by the turn of events he's witnessed, Charlie resolves to eliminate the entire group. Ruby's injuries prove too severe, and she succumbs, leaving Vance shattered, mourning the loss of his love, who had saved his life. Eddie gives Jamie a doll with a concealed weapon inside, instructing her to hide. She opens up about her life since her father's death, and the constant threat from 666. Eddie listens sympathetically and apologizes for not grasping the gravity of the situation earlier. He remains steadfast in his commitment, emphatically turning down Charlie's proposition to hand her over. At the same time, Mason's eyes catch the arrival of a U.S. Marshal vehicle pulling into the mall's parking area. Additionally, Eddie spots a van that raises his suspicions. He believes it's Charlie's and assumes it is likely loaded with sophisticated hacking equipment intended to jam their communications. Eddie chooses to take action and leaves the toy store through the back, to rendezvous with the marshals, entrusting Vance with the responsibility of guarding the front entrance. Vance is forced to engage in a gunfight with mercenaries who have broken into the toy store. Meanwhile, the marshals point their guns at Eddie. He immediately clarifies his role to Mason, indicating Jamie should be brought to them by Mason. However, Eddie realizes these are all imposters. He sees 666 tattoos on their bodies. Just then, Mason is fatally shot as he exposes himself while helping Jamie, who narrowly escapes. As the remaining mercenaries begin to attack Vance, he fights off their attacks, but is severely wounded. The moment Eddie successfully neutralizes the imposter marshals, he directs Jamie to secure a radio, through which he can summon additional assistance. Overhearing this conversation through his walkie-talkie, Charlie orders the remnants of his mercenary team to eliminate Eddie, while he focuses on capturing Jamie. In a high-stakes maneuver, Eddie dashes to take down the radio van he suspects is jamming their communications, and confronts Dead Eyes, Charlie's trusted second-in-command. Following a grueling intense battle, Eddie gains the upper hand and subdues Dead Eyes. He then kidnaps a motorized trike nearby, and uses it as a battering ram to turn off the radio van. Retrieving a firearm from Vance's vehicle, Eddie eliminates Dead Eyes and a lurking sniper. However, he sustains injuries. Subsequently, Charlie attempts to forge a connection with Jamie, recounting a personal tale of being abandoned by his father. He presents her with an offer. In return for her silence, he vows to take care of her. Just when it seems Charlie is about to end Jamie's life, injured but still determined, Eddie appears. Although Charlie tries to lure Eddie by offering him money, he remains unwavering in his resolve. Seizing this crucial moment, Jamie activates a taser cleverly concealed inside the doll Eddie had gifted her. She uses it to temporarily stun Charlie, allowing Eddie to gain control and decisively ends the threat that Charlie poses. As soon as Jamie makes contact with the real police, they arrive and prepare to take her to safety. She hugs Eddie gratefully before leaving. Eddie sees Vance being taken to an ambulance, relieved that he survived. In the days that follow, Jamie visits Eddie in the hospital and praises his paternal qualities. Eventually, her uncle comes to take her home, and Eddie recovers and reunites with his wife and daughter. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.